Hey, this is Ben at Harrison. I'm just going to show off some of the cool features that we've added in Mixbus version 3.1. This is a Behringer X-Touch motorized fader control surface, which is an inexpensive way to get yourself into the Mackie control protocol world, where you can control Mixbus using any device that speaks the Mackie control protocol. You might recognize these mixer strips. They look pretty straightforward. We have a panner at the top. This is my acoustic track, and you can see, I'll move my mouse to show you which track I'm looking at. I can, of course, adjust the pan. Each track has a record arm, a solo, a mute, and a select switch, which I'll talk more about in a moment, and then, of course, a motorized fader. One of the cool things about the Mackie protocol is it allows you to filter what you're looking at on the surface. So in this case, I'm looking at the global view, which shows all my channels in a row, but I can click the MIDI tracks button to filter my list of tracks and only show me my single MIDI track that's available. I can click audio tracks, which brings up my 8 audio tracks from the session. I can click buses, which shows me the 8 mix buses. So you can see that on the screen I'm operating the 4 of those 8 mix buses right here. And then there's a user selection. This one's kind of cool. I can actually go into the software and select a discontiguous set of tracks. I've got 3 tracks selected, so now when I press the user button, I've got my 3 tracks and the drums were in a group, so those got selected together. So I have 4 tracks here to work with. Global view returns me back to straight up channels, which I can navigate through using my channel and fader banking buttons. So let's dive into some of the really cool features we can do with Mixbus and this Mackie control protocol. If you look at the channel strip on the screen, you see that I'm controlling the pan here. But what I didn't mention is that by pushing this knob, I can turn the master bus assign on and off. Now let's get into the EQ and compressors. If I want to adjust those, I've got to press the select button. And once I've selected a track, then I have all kinds of options on the right side here to get in and do things. So if I click the track button, you'll notice that I now have input trim, input monitoring selection, some solo modes, and my polarity reverse switches. If I switch to the EQ mode, then I'm working my EQ, my Mixbus EQ. I've got low gain, low frequency, mid gain and frequency, high gain and frequency, my high pass filter frequency, and the EQ on and off. If I switch to sends, then I have buttons. By pushing these buttons, I can assign or deassign from my mix buses, and then I have the level controls. And check this out. If I click the flip button, then the faders become the level controls for those mix buses. So I can quickly assign to a couple of different reverbs or build a headphone mix and work the knobs with these faders. So that mode is only active in the send mode. If I click the instrument, we have co-opted the instrument button to be the compressor mode for Mixbus. So now I'm controlling my threshold for this track, the release time. I've got my mode for the compressor, so if I switch that from limiter back to leveler, then this becomes the attack. The labels change to show you exactly what you're doing. This is my makeup gain for the channel, and this is the in-out switch for the channel. One of the things you may notice is that because this is the built-in EQ and compressor, we can be a lot more sensible with the way we lay out the controls. So for example, if I change my channel selection while I'm looking at the compressor, it'll continue to look at the compressor settings for the other channels. And the same thing works for EQ and sends. So this is a really cool way to balance your EQs across separate channels. If I want to change channel, I still have my high pass filter and EQ settings of the selected channel. That's something that a lot of DAWs don't do correctly, but because we make mixers, we've laid it out sensibly. So you can see that we've got all kinds of elegant ways to get directly into the Mixbus features that you normally would use on the screen. EQ, compressor, Mixbus sends, the faders, mutes and solos, all those really powerful mixing tools are brought out into this hardware form for you using the Mackie control protocol that we're adding in Mixbus version 3.1.